the most crazy thing was they asked themselves I think it was one question they asked themselves is that what makes a good company great?
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the research question. And then they went out on a 5-year journey, I think it was, where they looked in what they called the black box, because they had no ideas. And they're looking at companies at the stock exchange to have something to measure on. So there was no like emotional or their views coming in on it or their emotions about the business. And there came out some quite crazy companies in this. And that's what I always have been fascinated about. Some of these companies I really didn't know because, of course, they were very American focused, many of these companies. But I was like Walgreens, which is a retail company.
Pharmacy.
Pharmacy company. You have Kruger, who is a retail. I know that. Bethlehem. And then they have Nucor as well. Kimberly-Clark. Will people probably mention out there? Philip Morris, of all companies.
Of all companies, right.
And of course, this was over a 15-year period. So this can, of course, have changed now over time. But they looked over a 50-year period. That was similar, the same from the 80s up through the 90s. It would be great to see them doing a study similar to this new time win with all these unicorn companies. If they are really great companies, are they really, financially strong and will withhold, because that's what it's about in the end. They are financially strong enough to take care of their people, their communities they're part, and they're very engaged in things beyond their matters as well, planet and so on. So,
that's
and I think that.
Yeah, interesting point. I mean, no, and not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but I mean, they're very strong in their conviction, right?
Yeah.
But is that enough to become a great organization? I guess time will tell.
Yeah, and I think it was interesting was all of them had because we always obsessed with growth. And recently I did a podcast with a guy called David Chenery where we talk about the future of hospitality, and we talk about probably we need to take the eye of the growth ball a bit and focusing a bit more about the impact. What kind of impact are we going to have on the world? Doesn't mean we shouldn't make profit. Profit is a different thing. Growth is sometimes evil because it forced people in a different behavior. And many of these great companies was quite flat for many years. And then they had a breakthrough because the business was ready for the breakthrough. The organizational muscle was actually ready to do this journey. And it didn't really impact them so negatively to grow. And their return, I think it was 6 times higher than the average stock on the stock exchange, some 6.7 or something like that.
Right.
But that's just interesting again if you think about from a strategic leadership point of view. These companies was not born great; they worked themselves great.
Yeah, I like that a lot actually, and being okay with not having any growth for a long time, and that's so counterintuitive and against the grain of how. I mean, by and large, society operates. You've got to have growth every month, every quarter. You've got to do better than same time last year. And if you're not, then you're not successful. And I wonder if what we've been going through in our industry now for the last almost year, if that's going to change. And again, time will tell when it comes to that.